Hello pretties, welcome to Websville. So today I do have a bit of a get ready with me. Hold on, Alexa, turn down volume. I am hoping that because I don't monetize any of my videos that I won't get in trouble for putting instrumental music in the background, just because I really hate getting ready in absolute silence. And even though I'm talking, just hearing my own voice is not exactly what I'm talking about, you know? But I am doing a get ready with me just because I'm planning on filming a few videos and I want to put makeup on, and I figured I might as well talk to you guys while I do that. And you guys seem to be enjoying, God, Alexa, turn down volume. You guys seem to be enjoying get ready with me, so yeah, that's what we're doing. And I want to do just kind of an old school tag video for this, and I'm not 100% sure if I've done this one already this year, but if I have, fuck it. If I haven't, here we are again. So anyway, we're doing the if I could only have one. Now a lot of people will say either formula and or product, and I'm gonna use them kind of interchangeably, and I'm gonna tell you why I chose one over the other. Alexa, turn down volume. Why I chose one over the other. Oh god. Okay, so I do have my first one, primer, Rare Beauty primer, and this one I just feel like is the perfect blend between something hydrating, because I do have really dry skin, and just a little bit blurring. So I do concentrate it mostly right here where I have slightly larger pores. Honestly, I'm being very blessed. I don't have overly large pores, so I just put it mostly right here, and then I just blend out the rest of my face just for hydration, and then kind of just leave it alone. I do like to do my eyes first. I know not a lot of people like to do that. If I could only have one product for eye primer, it's going to be the Rare Beauty one. I've said this before. Now I do want to say the Milani one is a really nice eyeshadow primer as well. The only reason why I like this one better is because I do feel like that one I need to set it, and I do think this one sets on its own. Also, this one has a little bit of pigment where you can see it does cancel out a little bit of coloration that I have on my eyeball, and it just kind of gives me an even canvas, which I don't think the Milani one does. But this is also one of those categories where I just don't think I've tried enough in the market to tell you, oh yeah, this is the absolute best base eyeshadow base primer there is out there, because I haven't tried enough. Same thing for primer, honestly, I haven't found enough, but I found what works for me, and I just haven't felt the need to keep looking, so I haven't. Also, this weekend was the start of fall. I painted my nails this like deep chocolate brown kind of shade, and that's kind of the inspiration for this whole eye look. So yeah, there's that. Or not eye look, for this makeup look is gonna be just like fall. Now granted, I am wearing a long sleeve because it's like fall vibes, but y'all, it is still 90 degrees out. Oh son of a bitch. Oh, never mind. I was like, I didn't do this. I plan to film one of the videos I'm going to film today is my Deck of Pan Project Pan update. As you can see, I haven't actually used this palette, so there's that as well. But anyway, as I was saying, what I was gonna say. Oh, right. If I could only keep one eyeshadow palette, it's going to be ColourPop and Kathleen Lights in So Jaded, just because I just think this is the absolute perfect palette. You have everything. It is missing it's missing diamonds. I'm gonna get it from here. I believe it's this one down here. Son of a bitch. And that's why we have magnet. Is it this one? Yeah, it is diamonds. I'm gonna put it in the palette for the purpose of the aesthetic. But now this is one where honestly, if I had to pick favorite formula, this would not be my top 3. But if I had to put perfect palette, this is the perfect palette for me. I'm gonna put my glasses on for this so I can see and talk at the same time here. But you have more warm tones, you have cool tones, you have neutrals, you have color, you have more unique shades, and I just feel like you have everything. Now these two are not original to this palette. There used to be 2 glitter shades right here. I did put 2 shades from the ColourPop X Shayla, there you go, Proceed with Caution palette. So I put those 2 shades here from there. But honestly, I just feel like you have everything you can think of is in this palette. So, in Color Story, and the formula, although it's not my top 3, it's a good formula. There's nothing wrong with this formula. I think this is before ColourPop had consistency issues, I guess I should say. I'm not really even sure what I want to do, but I feel like we need to just start with a nice neutral crease. I do know I need to do an all matte look because I'm gonna use eyeliner pencil, and I want to kind of show you guys what that's gonna look like. So yeah, this is and now the real reason why I'm choosing this palette over my favorite formula is because I couldn't pick a favorite formula. And there's just so many good formulas out there in the market that I just could not decide. I mean, I've done this times and times again where I have to like rank formulas, and I've always just gotten really stumped because Persona Cosmetics is so good, although they're kind of getting away from formula, but their eyeshadow formula is top notch. Then you have Natasha Denona, obviously, but one that, and I understand why it's not as popular, Scott Barnes. It's really expensive, but Scott Barnes formula is really good. Now, I can't necessarily say this for Patrick Ta's, what's it called? I can't think right now. Their glitter, but their metallic formula. I don't necessarily love that one. It's nothing bad. It's fine, but their matte formula, now their mattes are nice. They're so nice, and I just, yeah, I have to put it in there just because I think the mattes are even better than Natasha's. It's opera, and I was like, I thought it was my dog screeching. And it was opera in the damn background. Okay, all right, that's just, it is what it is. Alexa, lower the volume. There you go. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. That just really threw me off. Anyway, so yeah, Natasha Denona, obviously, I really like L'Oreal Los Angeles formula. I know it's not around anymore, but I really like that formula. I think it had something going for itself, but I digress. I'm trying to think of other top formulas, but I think those are the ones that I can think of right now, top of my head. But I guess if I'm not really mentioning them, are they even worth talking about? So there's that. Granted, there's a lot of other formulas that I haven't tried yet, and I would like to, but not right now. Not right now. Anyway, back to this eye look and this palette. I really like the color story. As somebody who likes color, but not overly punchy color, but just more muted, I just feel like this had something going for itself. I want just like the slightest little more color over here in the outer corner. There you go. Perfect. This is a little more warm tone as well, but we started neutral and then we go with a little bit deeper, more warm tone, and I just feel like that's the vibe. Okay, but anyway, I like color, but I like jewel tone muted colors. I think it goes better with my skin tone just because I am an olive undertone, so a lot of really bright stuff make me look a little grayish or a little sickly. And honestly, also, although I'm in my early 30s, I am in my 30s, you know? So I'm not 22 anymore when I can walk outside with like a pop in the face, you know, purple or blue eyeshadow, and I just don't think that's me anymore. Now granted, if it was a music festival, let's talk. But for the purposes of this, I just don't think so. Okay, for eyeliner. Now this is another one where I don't feel the most comfortable or confident talking about eyeliner because it's really not my vibe. If I am gonna go for an eyeliner though, I'm definitely not gonna do a liquid eyeliner because that's just not me. Liquid eyeliner is not my vibe. I don't know how to use it, and I don't particularly like overly defined wings, and there's that. Now I haven't tried a ton of different eyeliners, so I can't say this is the best one out there, but the one I like the most is the one from Persona Cosmetics. I just feel like it's really good to, like this, it's creamy, so I can put it on my lash line, and then I have a little playtime if I want to just like blend it out. Although I think I might have missed my window. But then once it's there, it's there. It's not smudging. It's gonna stick around. God, that wing sucks. Oh my god. I am so terrible at wing liners. It's actually kind of really ridiculous. But I digress. Then I'm just gonna stamp a little bit in the actual lash line just to make it look a little deeper. Bam, there you go. I am not that good at doing eyeliners, and I kind of like mixed the point here, and I'm just gonna try to mess with it a little bit. God, that eyeliner looks really bad. This is not a performance issue, it is an application issue. I do want to note that. It's not the eyeshadow. This was me just doing a very sloppy job with it. Alright, I'm gonna go to the other eye off camera and I'll be right back. Also, see if I can try to fix this a little bit. I think this side looks a little bit better, but eyeliner is just not my thing. But what I like about it, as you guys saw, because it just glides right on, and then it does, once it's on, and I don't really have to worry about it. I also think it has a really good lasting power on the waterline, which is where I mostly use eyeliner. But for the purposes of this video, I ended up putting it on my lash line. But this is just, you know, really soft looking eyeshadow, and just kind of the vibe right now for fall that we're going for. Alright, I had to clean that up a little bit. Alright, you gotta move on. And this one is not a surprise for anyone who's been in this video, in this channel for any length of time. But I've said it before, the Natasha Denona color corrector and concealer duo, this is the bomb down calm and everything in between. It is everything you could ever want. And now I have really bad deep setted eye circles, and I sometimes sleep well and they might look slightly better, but they'll never be gone and extremely pigmented, and that is from decades of not sleeping well. I've not slept well ever. Anything you can think of, I've done it. Sleep talking, I still do it to this day. My boyfriend likes to record me sometimes and then show me. She's like, look at your crazy ass last night, and I was like, what do you mean? And he like plays me back what I was going off about. Or sleepwalking. Now, I haven't sleepwalked in a very long time, but I have been known to sleepwalk in the past. That on top of my chronic insomnia. And I'm a a light sleeper. Everything you can think of, I do not sleep well. Hence I have really deep color, deep circles, and this color corrector is the best color corrector that I found. And this is one category where I've looked, I've tried a bunch of them, I've thrown away some. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I think part of the issue is that I'm not too light and I'm not too dark, right? I'm a medium. I'm a true medium. And this means that products that will work for light people don't work for me because they're too light, and my colors are really pigmented. So it does absolutely nothing for me. And then others that are meant for darker skin women are just too dark. They're too pigmented, they're too orange, and it's not that they don't color correct, but they also just look orange on me. And then when I go with my concealer, it just kind of all blends together. But what I really like from Natasha is that she broke it up. She created a color, I can't remember if it's like 8 or 10. It might have been even less than that. But she breaks it up where if you are any of the shades of color correct or concealer, this is your shade of color corrector. If you're any of the shades of concealer, this is your. And so she has multiple color correctors depending on whatever shade you have. Now, a trick that I have learned, but I just feel like I shouldn't have to, is that they say go with a overly pigmented color corrector, go with a little bit of your concealer so you can tone it down, and then go in to correct. And I guess that would create a similar effect of this one, but this already has that correct amount of pigmentation because it's within that shade range. And I honestly just think this is great. Now, this is not the most full coverage concealer that I own. It's not. But I think if you're using that color corrector, you don't necessarily need the most full coverage concealer. This is a really good high medium, medium to high, to high full coverage concealer. It's not the most full coverage, but it's a high medium. Okay, that's the best way I can say it. It's a very high medium. And again, with that color corrector, I don't think you need more. What I do like that is that it's so lightweight. And concealer is another one of those categories that I have tried concealers, because I just couldn't find something that would cover my dark circles, wouldn't, because I didn't have a good color corrector. I didn't have a good concealer. I just had to put so much on, and it just looks so cakey. And this, I can actually go less is more. And even if I do go sometimes over, which I have done in the past, it's not gonna look cakey. It actually feels pretty lightweight. So to me, there's nothing better in the market if you have really deep color correctors, and it's specifically the duo of the two that I think it's the real magic. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about the concealer, but I don't think a lot of people are talking about the color corrector. But the duo together is really where the money's at, if I'm being perfectly honest. And that is one where I feel perfectly confident actually like recommending or saying like this is the best formula, because I have tried so many. Now there's there's two concealers that I've heard a lot of good things about, and there's one color corrector that I've heard two color correctors that I've heard a lot of good things about that I haven't tried. The Huda Beauty color corrector and the e.l.f. one, and then also the e.l.f. concealer and the House Labs concealer. Those are the two that I haven't tried that I've heard a lot of good things about, but I have a few things I want to finish, and then I will eventually try them. It's one of those things where like, should I try them just for the sake of trying them because I like to try makeup? And that's where I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess I could. I definitely want to make sure that I don't have as much stuff in my collection. There's a few things that I'm gonna be done with by the end of the year, where I'm like, okay, this is the time. This is the time to not do this when I don't have as much in my collection. But I just don't know that they're gonna be better than that duo. You know what I mean? Because I truly believe that is the best duo for me. Now this is what makeup is personal to everybody, because I don't believe this is a good foundation for everybody, and I've said this many times, but the Patrick Ta foundation, this is not for everybody. I can tell you that right now. If I didn't have drier skin than the desert, this probably wouldn't be for you. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I've even heard this from people with like actual dry skin. This is not a good foundation, even with people with dry skin or normal skin. It can be overly dewy and it does not set. Personally, I don't set my foundation ever, and it takes my natural dry skin about 2 hours to like completely mattify it, which sounds like not a lot, but usually it only takes like 15 minutes for my foundation. It doesn't matter what it is, because like I said, I don't really set my foundation, not really. It takes about 15 minutes for my foundations to usually just like kind of dry on their own, because my skin is just so dry. But I actually like that this one takes so long to set, because it feels nicer. Also, it feels a little bit like a serum, if I'm being honest. It doesn't feel like an actual foundation, and I personally really like serum, not serums, but tinted moisturizers. It feels like a nice tinted moisturizer, and that's what I really like about this foundation. It's just lightweight, which is my preference. I don't know that it has a bunch of coverage, and I'm honestly not a good person to tell you, does this have full coverage or not? Because I've been lucky and I just don't have a lot to cover. I just don't. I don't have like acne scars. I don't have a lot of redness. I don't have any pimples right now. Sometimes I get one here and there, but like I don't get those very often. So I just don't have a lot to go over. Now what I do struggle with is dry patches. And certain foundations, they overemphasize those dry patches and they just look so thick. And you can see it peeling off. But with this, I don't have that issue of peeling. Not really. And I really enjoy that. Also, it is the best foundation match that I found for myself. And I'm sure you guys saw it. At first, when I applied on, I'm like, girl, that's not your color. But once I applied on, it's my skin tone in a bottle. I'm 13.0 in that Corrector, and I really like this foundation. Again, I don't think it's for everybody. It will not set, full warning. I don't know how pigmented it is because I don't need too much foundation to like look full coverage on me, because I don't have a lot to cover. So just kind of put it on that out there. I don't know. I don't think this is for everybody. That's really what I'm trying to get at. I really don't think this is for everyone. But for me, I love it. And you know, it's funny because I go back and forth a lot with the House Labs foundations. Like sometimes I think I like the House Lab foundation formula better, and sometimes I feel like I don't. And I think the difference is that this one's more lightweight, and on days like in the winter, I actually like that one better. The problem is, again, I live in Texas. We have 10 months of summer. Sorry, my voice just went. We have 10 months of summer, okay? We don't have like true seasons. Like even though like I think it's yesterday or today is the first day of summer. It's 94 degrees out. It's fucking hot out, okay? It's fucking hot out, and that foundation can feel a little heavy at times, especially when it's hot out. But when it's like nice weather, it feels really nice. Also, there's not like a true olive undertone in that foundation range, at least not one that I saw. Tell me if I'm wrong, because that foundation range gave me a headache. It was like warm was cool, cool was warm, neutrals had like weird undertones. So I was like, I don't know what anything is. So it was really hard for me to like figure out what is the best match for me. So I had to go in store, and I was like swatching, walked around for like 5 minutes, came back, see if it oxidized, and that's how I find what I think is a very close match, but the undertones are off. That one is a neutral versus the one from Corrector is an actual olive undertone, and I just think that fits me better. So there's that. Now for contour, I haven't tried that many contours, so I can tell you this is the best one out there. This is the best one I've had, which, I mean, I haven't had the much. This one from M Cosmetics, and I have the shade Terra, and this is just, I'm putting it a little bit lower. This is in fact for actual contouring, and I've been mixing it in with my bronzing, and I've actually found that I really enjoy it, and I think it does have two very different applications, and you can use them. And I've also been a fan of like bronzer and like bronzing contour kind of situation, and yeah, that is most definitely a thing. But this is just for the effect. This is not for, and it blends so easily. It's super soft. We're not here for like overly pigment. We just want to create that shadow, and I just think it does such a great job of just shadow, and that's why I put it a little bit lower. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Give me a sec. I do this in two parts. So I do the middle, and then I will go and actually try to do the jawline, which is not my preferred because I just don't feel like I have the visual to like really do it, because I don't have like really overly defined jawline. But there you go. I'm also not using the correct brush for this, but I digress. Okay, I'm done. Now, for cream bronzer, I was going back and forth between Corrector and this one from Rare Beauty, and I ultimately decided to go with this one. Now, cream bronzer is not one that I've done too much, and technically these ones are supposed to be contours. These are not contour shades. Just putting that out there, it's not a contour shade. These ones are more neutral, and I do think, depending on your undertone, you might pass this off as a contour, or more what I was saying before, a bronzer look, which is a little bit of both. It's like a more cool tone bronzer or a more neutral bronzer. But for me, I actually really like this, so I am putting this a little bit above where I was before, so it does do more of a bronzing. And you see, it's just a very neutral shade, but because my undertones can be a little grayish, it actually looks more warm toned on me than it first looked, because when you first apply it, it does look a little, it looks a little gray. Let's be honest, it looks a little gray, like a contour should. But when you start blending it out, there's like a warmthness that starts peeking through a little bit. And I think if you're more cool toned, you're gonna see that a little more. But I do think if you're somebody that's more warm toned, these are gonna be actual contours and not bronzing. But I do like these more than the ones from Paterta, just a little bit, if I'm being honest. I think those are a bit more pigmented, but those are also really heavy. And again, I have really dry skin, so something lighter like an actual liquid just tends to work for me a little bit more. Water break. I'm back. For highlighter, this is not a dispute. 100% is going to be the ones from Rare Beauty. I've come to terms that I prefer liquid highlighter over powder highlighters. So why I own so many powder highlighters, we will never know. I was figuring it out, I guess. But liquid highlighters are just my preferred. I don't want to glow from miles away. I just want to have a little glow in my skin, and I think these ones are good because they're not glittery. There's like a slight pearl formula to it, and I really enjoyed it. I have found that the ones from Fenty have a very similar feel to it. They feel lightweight, just like this one. Now those, I feel like the pearls are a little more intense, which for the right day and time, I don't mind. But for more of a day-to-day, I do prefer more subtle highlight, and these liquid highlighters just do it for me. It's just a lighter, so I really like the Rare Beauty liquid highlighters. But again, that's one of those categories where I haven't tried too much. Similar with this one, like I just haven't tried too much where I can tell you this is the best in the market. These are the best ones I've tried. So, disclaimer. Now for blush, I thought about this a lot because I've tried quite a few cream and liquid blushes, and I'm gonna go with the Rare Beauty ones. Now, I know not everyone's gonna agree with me, and I get it. I totally get it. These are way too pigmented off the bat. By the way, this is the new Tajin one. This is in the shade Chamoy, the one with Tajin. I really like this formula, and I think this is the right shade for like fall. Anyway, I really like this formula, and this is one where you just gotta trust the process. There's a bunch of ways to do this. I've seen the way Selena does it in her. Okay, my camera had turned off. We're back. I feel like we left off in blush, so I'm blending it out with my sponge, and I know it looks a little bit intense still. I'm actually gonna go back with my finger that I have a little excess, and then put a little bit more just at the tops of it here. Okay, wiping up my finger. Going back in with this one, the sponge, and we're just leaving it alone. There we are. Now I'm gonna go with my powder, and I do like the Lunar Beauty powder. Now, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. I haven't tried enough powders. I don't know that I have the best powder in the market. I've heard plenty of people say that they don't like this, and I have plenty of people say that they love it. I think it's just, it is what it is. I have heard that there's certain powders that are better than this one. I just haven't tried them. So for me, this is the best powder I had, where it's blurring, it's not thick or heavy, and it just does a really nice job. Oh, I dragged my concealer a little bit there, and I didn't mean to. It was supposed to just be a pouting motion. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, it's been a little while. I did a lot. I finished my eyeliner. I just put it in the waterline. It's the same one I used for the top of my lashes. I finished my eyeshadow, so no stay. And then I did put mascara. And this is another one where if you would ask me earlier this year or even last year, I feel like I would have given you different answers between the Essence mascara or the Rare Beauty mascara. But I've really come around to this e.l.f. Lash Extender. Now, I haven't tried the original one that this is supposed to be duping, so I don't know. And I've never really even tried any other, what's called tubing mascara. I do want to try the one for Personal Cosmetics. I just put that out there. But I haven't tried it. So this is the only thing that I have to go for. And I just feel like this is more my vibe. And I've heard Kelly Gooch talk about this, where like this is not the kind of formula that you can like go on coat, which is not my vibe. I really like to just do one light coat. And just, because I have long lashes, they just grow downwards. But this, I feel like it does a good job like keeping them up. And they're just like fluffed and like natural, and that's just the way I like my eyelashes. This is not for everybody, this is a personal preference, but I've really come around to really loving this mascara, so I'm really liking it. For powder, I did use the one from Lunar Beauty, but what you guys didn't see me use is I also used this one for number 7. Now number 7 is getting harder and harder to find. I believe they still sell it at Target online. Now this is supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder. I dropped my mirror. Great. Okay. Got my mirror back. I haven't tried that one because I'm not willing to spend $40-50+ on a powder. I think this one was $12, if not $16 at most. I honestly don't remember because I bought this a long time ago. But I like to mix it up, and I don't use too much powder. Like this one I've had for about a year and a half, and I just barely hit pan on it earlier this year. So I don't use this one powder. I use mostly here, and I concentrate it in my under eyes, and then I put whatever's excess on the little thing all over the face on one half, and then I do the same thing on the other half, and then I go with my powder brush, swivel it in there, and then take off the excess, and then just like brush it in, like whatever dust, whatever is left, into the rest of my face. And that's just kind of how I like to do it. To make sure I was still recording. I am. Anyway, so that's that, and we've got a lot done already. So we're kind of towards the end of it. Now, I don't really like to use powder highlight, so I don't really have one to share. If I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Opal from Becca Cosmetics, which is now sold through Smashbox, but I'm not going to apply it. I'm not gonna apply it because that's not really what I like to go for. What I'm gonna do is powder bronzer, and actually before I do that, no, I'll wait till afterwards. So I'm gonna go with my powder bronzer from Milani, and I'm just gonna do, I love this brush from Lara Los Angeles, and I'm just gonna do a coating, and this is just like the perfect, like, again, that bronzer. There's a little warmness to it, but it's very much a neutral bronzer. I just really love it, and I know that a lot of people like to go with like really heavy, like 2, 3, 4, 5 shades darker than them. That is just not my vibe. I do like to go for something a little bit more subtle. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. There's just like a little bit more warmthness here versus here, and a little more warmthness here versus there. But I'm not going crazy. This is barely maybe like a shade and a half darker than my actual skin tone. I just don't like to go with overly dark bronzers. I don't find that to be very flattering, so I do prefer something a little softer, like this one. Get a little bit more on the other side, or on the top of it here, and then that's it. And then I don't have to worry about being too heavy-handed with it or too light with it, because there's just not a lot you can mess up, you know? So yeah, that's it for bronzer. Now this, I'm shocked, you know. So anyway, this is the Milani bronzer. I love it. I was going back and forth because I have so many pretty like powder brush. Actually, before I go with that, I'm gonna go with my excess and just go a little bit on top with that foundation brush and put a little bit of that color back, which I'm sure you were not expecting that either. But that's where I say we're gonna come back to the brush. We're gonna put a little bit more. Honestly, on most days, this would be it. But because I am trying to show you guys all of my favorite products, I'm gonna go with my favorite blush, which again, there's so many pretty blushes that I own. I own a ridiculous amount of honestly just beautiful, wonderful blushes. But the one I'm going with is the one from it's a Heaven's Glow from M Cosmetics in the shade Rococo. God, that's dirty. Okay, in the shade Rococo. It's the other one that I own, and this is it. And it's just the perfect color and glow at the same time. It's not too glowy, it's more of a pearlized, and honestly, because that blush underneath is so intense, I don't know that this was necessary, because you're not gonna see much difference. If anything, it just looks really pigmented in comparison. I definitely have blush blindness right now, I'll admit it. But again, this is for the purpose of the video. This is not for the purpose of me going outside. I'm not going anywhere today. I just wanted to play with makeup. And yeah, this is what we're doing. And I just really like it. I think it gives you like a nice glow. You're not gonna see it from up front. It's just really nice glow. I really enjoy this blush. And anytime I'm like, oh, I don't know what to wear, I just reach for it. And then I like to just blend my powder products. And so I like to do a little, this is just like an empty brush. I just like to use it to just diffuse and blend everything together, because sometimes I do go overboard. So I like to tone it down a little. There we are. Okay, for brow products, I don't use a lot of brow products, so I really can't talk about brow gels, and I honestly haven't tried that many brow gels, but I've really been enjoying this one from Persona Cosmetics. But I really just don't feel like I have found the one. Although I really like this one, and I don't particularly feel like I need to go looking for more. Honestly, sometimes I don't even feel like I'm putting anything on. So I just don't think I found the one. So if you have any good brow gel recommendations, send them down below because I'm still looking. So yeah, there's that. Alright, taking this off, putting my glasses back on, and we're gonna go for lip liner. Now, lip liner was that category where I was, ooh, we're a little crooked. There you go. Was that category where I knew exactly what I was gonna pick, and it was gonna be the Persona Cosmetics lip liner. Any of her lip liners, I really just enjoy this formula. Now, this shade is not the vibe for this look. I know that. And I already went outside of the line a little bit. Oh no. That's okay. I just find myself that I can't talk and do lip liner at the same time. But I really like this. It's super creamy, which I know that's not everyone's preference. I know a lot of people like a more stiff lip liner. I don't. So if that's what you're looking for, maybe this is not the one for you. But it's really long lasting. I don't have any issues on fading. I can wear it for all day long and it will stay there all day long. And it's also like really creamy to the point where if I wanted to like smudge it, I could. I'm not, but I could. Now, I was going back and forth on the products. Like, what am I gonna put? What am I not gonna put? And I was like, should I put a lipstick, like break it up, lipstick, gloss, this and that? And I was like, no. Because if there's one lip product that I could use, I know exactly what it would be. And it would be the lip oils or whatever they're called from Rare Beauty. Because really, they're lip tints, okay? Don't let that fool you. They're lip tints. And there's quite a bit of pigment. They do feel like a lip oil. And they do dry down into a stain. And if I could only keep one lip product or one lip formula for this one, it'll be all of these shades. Because I have found that even some shades that I'm like, I don't think this is very flattering for me. Once it dries down more muted, a little bit deeper, and then I can pull every shade off. And I have no issues with this formula. I really enjoy it. Anyway, that's it. Those are, oh wait, we forgot setting spray. Where was my head at? Okay, I honestly haven't tried that many setting sprays. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I want to try the one from Rare Beauty, but this is the one from the Pretty Fresh from ColourPop. I don't like it. I think it's fine. I don't particularly use setting spray in order to make my makeup last. I use setting spray more to like melt everything down. And I think it has done that for me. Because again, my skin is so dry that my makeup is not moving because my face wouldn't allow it to move. And I absolutely love this makeup look. Even though my eyeliner is a little wonky, if you forget that, I love it. Everything turned out so good. A lot of my favorite products are worn here today. And yes, what are some of your favorite products? Are any of these products ones that you love and adore or that you're interested in learning about? Let me know. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.